Happy Thursday, y'all. We made it to Thursday. We're going to call it Friday Eve, because thank God there's only one day left. It is July the 9th, and these are some of the headlines on bizarrebus.com. If Trump loses and doesn't leave, cabinet members who try to help him stay may face prison time. Why that's even coming up, I don't know, but I'll get into it. 200,000 seafarers fear there's no plan to get them off the ships. Yeah, dude, there's like 200,000 people just out there stuck. Slave monkey scandal forces rethink on coconut trade. So all that luscious coconut water that everybody drinks, yeah, monkeys get it from the trees in some cases, not in all. And Omar from Minnesota wants to dismantle the whole system, but she funneled $878,000 to her husband's firm. Is that the husband-brother that she married? We're going to find out. All these headlines and more on bizarrebus.com. From the Stanford Advocate, Trump could lose and not leave. Ooh. Yeah. But cabinet members who try to help him stay could face prison. Who in the hell are these fearmongers that just... this isn't the first time that this kind of topic has been brought up. First of all, there's always been this smooth transition. That is what happens when you vote in a new president. So if he lost the election in November, what would make you think that he would break that tradition? Is there that much fear that he might demand to stay like he's some kind of fucking dictator? Who are these people anyway? With November fast approaching, here's a reoccurring question that can't easily be dismissed as alarmist fretting or grim humor. Ugh. What if President Donald Trump loses his bid for re-election but refuses to concede and instead clings to power? God, I'm scared. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi expressed this concern last year, saying we have to inoculate against that. We need to inoculate against her. So did Trump's prison-bound former lawyer Michael Cohen. Testifying before Congress, Cohen said, I fear that if he loses the election in 2020, that there will never be a peaceful transaction of power. Even Joe Biden, Trump's Democratic rival, doesn't discount the possibility that Trump would make himself difficult to dodge, but he suggests that others in government would get the job done. I promise you, I'm absolutely convinced that they will escort him from the White House with great dispatch. As if we even need to be having this discussion. It's incensing. Like, why are you planting this whole fucking 2020 has been about the Democratic Party planting fear and anger in other Democrats so they can guarantee the vote on their side. It's ludicrous. If Trump does try to hang on to the presidency, he's lost. However, he can't actually do very much all by himself. Running the executive branch requires help. Thankfully, there are laws to stop others from using the authorities of the executive branch on behalf of anyone other than the legitimate president. If William Barr, for example, tried to exercise the power of the Attorney General after a Trump loss, he would be subject to criminal prosecution. The circumstances matter. If Trump legitimately wins the election day, he wins. So be it. I highly doubt that. There's going to be fucking riots everywhere. And if he loses, well, American tradition calls for a peaceful transfer of power to one successor. Absolutely. But given Trump's rampant tradition busting, there's more than a little reason to worry that he'll continue to reassert baseless claims that there was election fraud via mail-in ballots or foreign election interference favoring the Democrats, even after he has failed to persuade lawfully constituted authorities of such fantasies. Whatever Trump's excuse, it would require little imagination to suppose that he would claim some need to retain power at least long enough to investigate whatever election irregularity he's claiming, such that, come January 20th, 21, he and Biden would be advancing competing claims to be America's legitimate president. Possibly, but there was more than that kind of situation when Hillary and Trump ran, and you got to bow out gracefully, dude, if you lose. That's just the way it is. Chads with Gore, you just got to bow out, dude. That's the way it is. We all know that. For example, it's a crime to pretend to be an officer or an employee of the United States when one isn't. A federal statute reads, whoever falsely assumes or pretends to be an officer or employee acting under the authority of the United States, or any department, agency, or office thereof, and acts as such or in such pretend character, demands or obtains any money, paper, document, or thing of value, shall be fined under this title or imprisonment not more than 3 years or both. Why don't we talk like that anymore? We should. Note that the first offense defined by the law involves simply falsely assuming or pretending to be a U.S. officer or employee. There's no demand for money required. So imagine an ongoing cabinet member, such as a Secretary of Defense or Homeland Security, who's been fired by a legitimate president immediately upon being sworn in on January 20th. That outgoing cabinet member would violate this criminal prohibition, if he or she were still to pursue to exercise executive branch authority. For example, if the ex-Secretary of Defense ordered a military operation or ex-Homeland Security Secretary issued an immigration edict, powers that no longer belong to officials ousted from executive branch. Dude, hang on, I gotta close this thing. They love to do pop-ups right in the middle of me reading something. I hate that. This would be an extraordinary risky thing for any outgoing cabinet official to do. It's all bullshit. What if? I can what if all day long. Okay? Why are you gonna what if this? It's like worrying about... My grandfather used to say, worry is debt paid before it's due. Think about that. Like, why are we even worrying about this? Who's worrying about this? If the outgoing Attorney General agreed with the fired cabinet official that the Attorney General would have legitimate authority over federal criminal prosecution only until January 20th, after that date, any attempts by the outgoing cabinet member to exercise official authority would risk criminal prosecution and sentencing by the United States Attorney for the District of Columbia appointed by the President Biden with the new Senate advice and consent. President Biden, already. Or by an interim U.S. District Attorney appointed by Biden for the new Senate could give its consent. Who'd take such a risk? Well, I think you get the point here. There's a lot of... it goes on and on. 3 other more paragraphs about basically what to do or what the scenario would be if Trump decided he wasn't going to go peacefully. Well, I don't know why anyone's worrying about it because, first of all, there's probably going to be a civil war regardless. It may not have anything to do with who's president. If he stays in office because he's voted in, there's going to be a problem. If he's voted out and Biden's put in under Soros puppetry and Hillary puppetry, there's going to be a problem. But there's a fucking problem regardless. I've never seen our nation so divided in my entire life. It's ridiculous. Anyway, you can read this. I'm going to link it at bizarrebus.com. More than 200,000 seafarers remain trapped on ships around the world, from cargo vessels and oil tankers to luxury cruise liners. 200,000 people whether they're crew or whatever, they're stuck. Can you imagine that? Restrictions on ship docking to halt the spread of the pestilence, border shutdowns, and the lack of flights are the biggest barriers to relieving exhausted crew. But shipping lines and cruise companies are also coming under increasing pressure to do more. MSC said it's been working with governments and ports to get workers home as quickly as possible, prioritizing pregnant seafarers. The company said in a statement that a small number of pregnant crew members across the fleet have had to stay on board awaiting repatriation, despite our best efforts to secure safe passage home for them. How much responsibilities companies bear for workers trapped at sea is growing point of contention. Another freaking pop-up. Nice. That leaves one of the world's most vulnerable working populations, some who have been stuck on board for more than a year, at increased risk and could have a knock-on effect that reverberates through the shipping industry and global economy. Dude, over a year? I'm suing the shit out of somebody, man. I don't know. I don't even know if I can. I would be flipping my lid. They better have a bar, man. That's all I gotta say. And smokes. I'd have to pick up smoking again. Pressure to change new crew has increased dramatically, said Carl, Chief Executive Officer of Wilhelmsman Ship Management, which oversees about 5,000 seafarers on vessels and manages a worker pool twice as big. If nothing happens to get crew off ships, shipping would stop. Well, guess what else stops when shipping stops, y'all? Everything. Because we have lain in bed with foreign country for so long and put all of our wares into what they give to us, we will be screwed. So you might want to stock up on your meds because, all the ingredients that we get for our medications come from where? You got it. Foreign country. That's just the tip of the iceberg. What about your dog food, cat food, laundry detergent, toilet paper, as we know? All kinds of shit that you would not think comes from there, dude. Get your shit together. While cruise companies have been able to get most seafarers home by pulling thousands of workers and chartering flights, or in some cases taking them home on luxury liners empty of passengers, because that's the very effing least they could do, the majority of crews on merchant vessels haven't been able to get off. It's an all-out coup, dude. You better not land here. Just go to the next ship, because when you land, it's an all-out coup, dude. Somebody's gonna pay. That's all I'm saying. Another 200,000 seafarers haven't been able to get back onto ships because of travel restrictions to relieve crew who have finished their contracts. Instead, seafarers already on vessels have been asked to renew or extend their contracts, even if many don't expressly want to. Stranded crew members are becoming increasingly desperate. The Philippines Maritime Industry Authority has received alarming reports of seafarers killing themselves aboard ships due to loneliness and depression. Administrator Robert, whatever his face, said in a speech last month, Indian crew stuck on Global Cruise Line's luxury liner MV Astoria staged a hunger strike in June, demanding to return home. That vessel, along with 4 others from the same company, were detained by the UK's Maritime and Coast Guard Agency for expired contracts. Late payments of wages and crew who have been aboard for more than 12 months. The company and the International Transport Workers Federation have come to an agreement to repatriate most of the crew on the ships this month. That's an additional month. Those dudes are starved to death. Starved! Dude. While the International Seafarers Union says crews are within their rights to halt work if their contract has expired, many seafarers worry employers could retaliate if they speak up or refuse to continue working. S.K. David, an engineer aboard a container ship that transports freight between Asia and South America, if you were wondering where that item was that you ordered. Yeah, it's still in the middle of the ocean. Said he extended his 6-month contract because he felt if he didn't, his chances for future employment would be limited. He asked that his employer not be identified out of fear for reprisal. I don't blame the dude. It's sad, but we are treated this way, unrecognized, forgotten as second-class citizens, says David, who has yet to hold his son, born in February. Captain Nicholas, whatever the hell this dude's name is, I can't even begin to pronounce it, who disembarked in Houston in June after spending 3 months longer than expected at sea and missing the birth of his daughter, acknowledges that some seafarers are afraid to refuse an extension of their contract. However, no company is forcing anyone to stay on board if they can do a cruise change. But first of all, why wouldn't you? Because I'm trying to get paid. I'm not trying to sit out here in the middle of the effing ocean. That'd piss me off even more that I wasn't getting paid. Oh, hell no, you're paying me. And anyway, I could just break the contract and sue the shit out of you when I get off. There, problem solved. That's where a challenge lies, though, is ship managing firm Wallem Group says 40% of their 4,000 seafarers on vessels have completed their contracts and 10% have been at sea for more than a year. Still, because of the pandemic, the company's only been able to execute about 20% of their usual crew changes. Coles, as well as Will Helmsman, said governments and ports are ignoring the problem and need to grant seafarers special worker status to expedite crew changes. I totally agree. Like airline pilots and their crew, restrictions vary widely across ports and governments, ranging from requiring crew to return home only via charter flight, while other authorities mandate that incoming and outgoing seafarers quarantine at hotels. So I've been on this ship for a decade, it feels like. And now I got to sit in a hotel for 14 days. That's a big FU. Pretty much. I can tell you that where that's going. Well, a growing number of ports are now allowing crew changes. Management companies say the restrictions have made it difficult to relieve substantial numbers. The Seafarers Union has seen a spike in the number of requests for help from crew who want to stop working while on their ships since the union put out a statement last month saying crew who have finished their contracts can exercise that right. Still, some shipping lines are doing... I'm sorry, I missed one. David, the container ship engineer, and seafarer advocates contend some shipping lines aren't prioritizing the repatriation of seafarers by diverting ships for crew changes and are reluctant to shell out large sums of expensive charter flights for smaller shippers. It may not be financially feasible to charter flights for just a handful of crew from one country. Well, whose effing problem is that? The owner, right? Still, some shipping lines are doing just that at great expense. V Group, one of the biggest managers with crew of 44,000 globally, said it's seen ship owners pay as much as $800,000 to charter planes to bring workers home. Dude, that's crazy. Well, there's a lot more to this. I'm going to link it at bizarreabyss.com. Well, let's take a small break to show you the new Bizarre Abyss face mask. Oh my gosh, y'all, you asked for it, you got it. $12.99. I'm sorry, that's the best we could do, y'all. We really tried to keep it lower than that. I really wanted to keep it $10.99, but I could not get it any lower. Offers full nose and mouth coverage, single-sided print, includes 2 6-inch elastic ear loops, non-medical grade product, as you of course know, and $1 from every mask sale is donated to nonprofit to feed the children in need. Comes in black, gray, white, and red. So feel free to check that out. Go to bizarreabyss.com and get yours today if you would like to support us. Since I didn't do a story on the pestilence today, let me read these just headlines to you about it. USA new virus record, 65,551 cases in a day. Patients swamp Sun Belt hospitals. Kentucky turns hotspot. Growing chorus pushes for renewed shutdown orders. Trump sidelines public health advisors in growing rift over response. Basically takes a shit on the CDC today. And CDC's like, well, yeah, I want to keep my job, so yeah, we're going back to school, y'all. Houston is the new New York City. Antibodies only last just months, so you could get it twice. More than 1,000 TSA employees have tested positive. Colorado town threatens year in jail for no mask. New York City cancels all large events until October. And Republicans look into holding their conventions outdoors now that they're being blamed for some spread that happened during the Oklahoma rally. As you know, I am pro-mask. There's several reasons for that. Number one, this isn't fake. People die. People have died. And it's not the flu. I don't give a shit. But if you choose not to wear a mask, dude, that's on you. I'm wearing one to protect me. I wear one to protect my mom. She's she's on chemo, so she can't catch anything. She's immunocompromised. So if you choose not to wear one, dude, it's all on you, but you should be thinking about other people. And that's why you should wear one, but I wear one because I'm not trying to fucking die. So having said that, my city is forcing masks when you go into public places, so I'm not opposed to it, but there's a whole whoop-de-doo about it where I live. But anyway, I hope you all stay safe and stay healthy. On with the news. So, you know that coconut milk that you're walking around with looking so trendy and healthy? I'm drinking coconut milk. I'm so trendy. Ugh. I use it in my coffee. If you do, good for you. I'm just saying. You might want to listen. Thailand, the world's top producer of coconut milk, said it will enable retailers and consumers to trace coconut back to their source to show whether monkeys have been used for harvesting the coconuts. The $400 million industry, which relies on monkeys at some plantations, is facing possible boycotts in the U.S., Europe, and Australia after the people of ethical treatment of animals, known as PETA, alleged that monkeys are being abused and treated like coconut picking machines for Thai growers and producers. Well, they are. Officials from the country's Commerce Ministry, Animal Welfare Agency, and representatives from the industry met in Bangkok on Wednesday and have agreed to create measures to ensure the traceability of Thai coconut products, according to a statement. Packages will be marked with a code that can be used to track the products back to their source, which will show whether they came from monkey-free plantations, and I'm positive no one will mess with those codes at all and lie at all. I'm sure they're going to keep that on the up and up. Not. The PETA report caused waves across the world, with several British supermarkets saying it will stop selling some Thai coconut products. According to local media reports, a major Thai producer also said it's receiving inquiries from U.S. and Australian retailers. UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson's fiancée, Carrie Simmons, who also weighed in. Who gives a fuck? Why? Okay, issuing a series of tweets urging stores to boycott products using monkeys. Get out of here, Carrie. We want to know what's going on. I lost my spot. Carrie threw me off. PETA alleges that an undercover investigation at 8 farms and several monkey training schools revealed shocking abuse, where monkeys are chained, confined to cramped cages, and forced to climb trees and pick coconuts. The organization called the Thai government to ban the enslavement of monkeys. That sucks so bad, dude. Free the animals. Why? Still, not all coconut plantations in Thailand use monkeys. Some coconuts that are harvested for its water are often grown from dwarf trees, allowing them to be collected by humans using tools like a long bamboo stick or a pole pruner. Doesn't sound very exciting. Coconut trees that are harvested for milk tend to be taller than 15 meters, so monkeys are often used instead. Monkey school. Apparently they go to school to learn this. We have to understand that climbing trees for humans is a very dangerous job and could end in injury or death, said Somjai Sakau of First Monkey School, a training center for coconut collecting monkeys in South Thailand. It would be great if we could find an alternative way to collect coconuts. Many of us would be happy to change. Dude, get this guy a... Well, how do they do it other places? He needs a machine. Other coconut growing regions... Well, here we go. Ask and ye shall receive. Other coconut growing regions such as Brazil, Colombia, and Hawaii have harvested coconuts using methods such as a tractor-mounted hydraulic elevator, humans, ropes, or ladders, PETA said. Using monkeys to collect coconuts is an old tradition that may need to change with time, even if very few growers still practice it, according to Naris, I can't pronounce his name, the lawmaker from southern Thailand, the biggest growing coconut area. Thailand's two major coconut producers allege that PETA are using monkey labor, and they denied, Thailand's two major coconut producers that PETA alleges are using monkey labor denied the claims. I can't pronounce this coconut company's name. Thepa Dung Porn. Yes. I swear to God, Thepa Dung Porn Coconut Company, the maker of Chico coconut milk, said that the company buys coconuts from plantations that use humans to harvest. I'm sorry. Adding that retailers abroad have been contacting the company on this issue. Thai Agri-Foods, the maker of Aroy D coconut milk, said its products aren't sourced from plantations that use monkeys. Thepa Dung Porn. You're going to want to look that up, dude. Be careful, though. It's all one word. Theppa. Dung, like dung beetle. Porn. Thepa Dung Porn. Thailand is among the world's biggest producers of coconuts, producing 1.3 million tons each year. I'm sorry. It exports a range of products from fresh and... I don't even know that fucking word. I don't know this word. Fresh and, I don't know, desiccated coconuts to coconut milk and oil. That's amazing. It's been so long since I've seen a word that I didn't know. Like, not someone's name, but, you know, like an actual word. I'll have to look that up later. The PETA campaign has affected sales in the UK, as well as other European countries. Thai Commerce Minister Juran, I can't pronounce this dude's name either, said, Thepa Dung Porn. Oh, God. On the Thai measures to improve traceability, PETA responded on Thursday by saying that while the new system is welcome, it requires companies to be forthright. PETA and every kind of consumer looks forward to seeing a Thai coconut industry that leaves monkeys alone. Well, first of all, they didn't tell us the codes to look out for, like for when... So we know it's not coming from monkey-picked property and Thepa Dung Porn. I'm going to link it at bizarrebus.com. Democrat Omar from Minnesota wants to dismantle systems that prioritize profit. Her campaign has funneled $878,000 to her husband's firm. She is tonight's bad seed. Representative Ilhan Omar, Democrat from Minnesota, said Tuesday that she wants to dismantle economic and political systems that prioritize profit without considering who's profiting. Even as her re-election campaign has continued to funnel hundreds of thousands of dollars to her new husband's consulting firm. By the way, she married her brother at one point. Does no one give a shit? They proved it. Does no one care? I care. She's a total freaking bad seed, dude, and a hypocrite. Sue me, bitch. Omar made the remarks during a press conference in Minnesota saying, as long as our economy and political systems prioritize profit, because she's a fucking Marxist, without considering who is profiting, who is being shut out, we will perpetuate this inequality. God. Give me 2 seconds, man. Just give me 2 seconds. So we cannot stop at the criminal justice system. We must begin the work of dismantling the whole system of oppression wherever we find it. Omar's remarks come as a new report was released Tuesday night that showed she has continued to pump not only her brother, but hundreds of thousands of dollars into her new husband's consulting firm, including $189,000 in March, in the middle of the effing pandemic. Well, at the beginning. The beginning of the effing pandemic. What the fuck? The payments, how is she still in office? Oust that bitch. The payments between the Minneapolis Democratic Congresswoman and Tim Minette prompted at least one ethics complaint in 2019 after the Post first revealed allegations made by Minette's then wife in her divorce filing that Omar was having an affair with a member of her political consulting team who was at the time married to another woman. Omar was married to her second husband at the time. What's it, her fucking cousin? Who knows? But that doesn't appear to have stopped the now married couple. So she took this chick's husband and funneled money to him. He's a sucker. Also, he must be a sweet talker too. He's one of those, you know the kind. But that doesn't appear to have stopped the now married couple, with Minette's E Street Group collecting $292,814.99 effing cents from his wife's campaign this year for digital advertising, fundraising, consulting, and research services, according to the Federal Election Commission filings. Dude, what the fuck is that? Why is she still in office? In total, Minette has received a whopping $878,930.65 from Omar's campaign since he began working for her in 2018, raising eyebrows among watchdogs and political law experts who say the practice is rife with cryonism. Indeed, it is. The Post noted that the FEC allows lawmakers to hire family members to work on their campaigns, but numerous experts say that the practice should be banned. It should not be allowed, says attorney Richard W. Painter, who served as chief ethics lawyer in the George W. Bush White House. He told the Post, "I think it's a horrible idea to allow it, given the amount of money that goes into these campaigns from special interests." Omar married Minette just a few months after the two were accused of having an affair, which she initially denied. I don't know why. She's fucking everybody. Literally, she's fucking everybody. She's fucking your husband, if you're watching. I bet. If you live in Minnesota, she's fucking him. When Omar was asked last fall by a local media outlet whether she was separated from her husband or if she was dating someone else, Omar said, "No, I'm not." Ugh. Omar has faced intense scrutiny for making repeated anti-Semitic remarks and for allegations that she married her brother to skirt immigration laws, which has reportedly piqued the interest of federal law officials. Yes, she freaking did. In February, an alleged friend of Omar back in Minnesota told the Daily Mail that Omar did marry her brother. Boom! Dude. Whatever the hell this dude's name, Abdi Hakim Osman is the first person to go on record to speak of how Omar said she wanted to get her brother papers so he could stay in the United States at a time when she was married to her first husband, Hamed Hersey, the Daily Mail reported. You do understand. There's I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to say it because it's going to get me in a lot of fucking trouble. But I'm going to say that despite her being voted in and how she got voted in, she needs totally kick the fuck out right now. She's a disease, dude. She's a total disease on our government. And there's more like her. They just sneaking in. Anyway, just getting it. And people are letting it happen. Well, she's on the Bizarre Best Bad fucking Seed page. For sure. Permanent. She's perma bad seed. And I'm going to link this article on bizarrebest.com. Thank you for tuning in tonight. I love you guys so much. We're almost to 100,000 on TikTok. Almost 2,000 on YouTube. I think we're almost to 1,500 on Instagram. And our private group on Facebook. Everyone's just so cool, man. And Twitter, you guys rock. We've been on Twitter for a long time, man. Like, I think since 2007. Anyway, you can check us out on all of those social media apps and Parler now. I'm uploading to there. Not much action happens over there that I can see, but we're on it just in case you're on it too. Well, anyway, thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll see you soon.